we're right on time of our 2:34 start time, right when we said we would.
It's kind of an odd time to start, don't you think?
I like to start everything at 2:34.
Yeah, sure.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Each 1, 2, 3.
But
There we
you
go.
remember.
Funny, mixing music and comedy. It's
Oh,
like
this is a
everything
really good
you
song.
could wish for. It's like an opera singer covered in bees. It's like hearing your favorite song while you eat your favorite cheese. It's funny songs and funny stories. It's songs in the key of funny.
Funny songs and the stories behind them. Welcome to Songs in the Key of Funny. I'm Kristen Key, your host as always. We're starting right on time at 2:35. We have a fantastic guest today. Before we get started, I'd like to thank, as always, Flappers Comedy Club for letting us host the Songs in the Key of Funny podcast here. If you want to... Oh, yes! Our studio audience is lively today. They're not too mad. They've been sitting there so long. No, thanks to Flappers. Please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everything is Songs in the Key of Funny. I think on Twitter it's Songs Key Funny? Roxy? Do you know what that is? Okay, it's something. We have a handle on Twitter.
Yes, Songs Key Funny.
Songs Key Funny, yeah.
Songs Key
Songs
of
Key
Funny.
of Funny. So just drop the in the... Anyway, so Songs Key of Funny is Twitter. Everything else is Songs in the Key of Funny. Anyway, and thank you again to Flappers. A little bit of news on my end. My album dropped on Friday. It's called Kristen Key's Songs in the Key of Kristen. So make sure and run out to your local music store. Do those exist? I don't know. And I don't think it would be there. Anyway, download that. And this week we have a fantastic guest. Before we get to her, we always like to honor musical comics of the day and up-and-coming musical comedians, but we also like to, if not pay an actual tribute to, at least give a nod to a classic comedy song of the week. This week, because our guest went to college in Minnesota, I chose the song "The Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota" by Weird Al, and it's almost a 7-minute song, so I'll just play you one of the choruses. The biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. It was the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. There we go. It was the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. The biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. That was Weird Al, and that's our classic song of the week. Classic song of the week. Classic song of the week. Couple funny things or interesting things about that song. It was recorded in 1989 by Weird Al on the album UHF. And the biggest ball of twine actually is in, Darwin, Minnesota? That's correct. And it weighs 17,400 pounds. That is your classic song of the week. Now, let's get to our lovely guest. Our guest, you may have seen at the Comedy Store, Flappers, the Westside Comedy Theater, and the One-Eyed Gypsy. This is Lara Ibrahim. Ibrahim. Help me.
Ibrahim. But that's pretty
Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Ibrahim. I'm Ibrahim.
I wasn't sure if I
so
should
many
correct you or
eyes.
not. Yeah.
It's Abraham, but spelled with eyes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's actually the Christian version of
Oh,
Abraham.
okay.
'Cause Abraham's Jewish.
Jeez, I'm a terrible Christian. But welcome on the show anyway. It's wonderful to have you. So you, just before we get any further, you went to college at a college in Minnesota that I'd never heard of before.
Gustavus Adolphus College. Yeah, it was a great little
Sounds
private
made
school.
up.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Gustavus Adolphus College.
Now say your last name.
Ibrahim.
Okay. So, and what did the college teach that you went to?
It's a liberal arts college.
That makes sense.
There's actually a lot of Swedes in Minnesota, so it's a Swedish-based college.
Okay.
Gustavus Adolphus was actually the king of Sweden during the 30 Years' War. You get a history lesson with me as long as...
I love this. I'm learning so much. I still can't pronounce the name of the college. So how long did you live in Minnesota?
Yeah, till I got done with college, 22 years.
So you were raised there too.
I was raised in
Okay.
Minnesota, yes.
Yeah, I didn't get to read your whole bio, so that's why I'm going to find out everything about you that there possibly is to know now. Tell me about Minnesota.
Minnesota's great. I actually didn't know there was the largest ball of twine there, so maybe I don't know everything about Minnesota.
Oh, it's the biggest, and it's featured in so many different songs and movies. I remember it from Weird Al, but also in the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous, it is referred to, but they always say it's in Bundy, Minnesota, but actually it's in Darwin, Minnesota.
Huh,
And
I thought I knew Minnesota well, but I didn't know about the twine.
Have you seen the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous?
No. Oh, look it up.
I mean, After we're done here, whatever time we finish, go to Blockbuster and just rent it, rewind it, because you always have to, and then
So I never. People always ask me if I've seen these movies.
Minnesotan movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Fargo, but that's not in Minnesota.
That was North Dakota.
Dakota,
Yeah. People get that confused. Now, so you're born and raised?
Born and raised, yep, and all the way through college. I was going to say, I loved it there. Some of my best friends are still there. They're down to earth. Everything they say about Minnesota is, I think, pretty true.
Yeah?
Really. Yeah, down
People
to
are
earth.
that nice?
They're nice and friendly, and you can trust them and all that kind of stuff.
Do they say yeah, sure, and you betcha as much as people?
Probably
think
not
they
as
do?
much as people portray it,
or
but
more than we think, because I think they say it a little, but anyway.
I think people tell me they can still hear my accent.
For sure, yeah. That's why I wanted to start talking about it right away, because we've been sitting here for a little while waiting for the show to start, and just little phrases
Out and about,
things.
right?
Yeah,
People
just
say
the
out and
rounding
about.
of the
Yeah.
O. Just you can tell.
Yeah.
But how did you deal with? So are you? Is it hot in California to you? Did you acclimate to the temperature change?
I probably came out to California because I wanted to pursue music and because the temperature made me a little bit. Yeah. It's funny because I grew up with 3 other brothers and sisters, and we all grew up in Minnesota. Now I have one in Connecticut, one in Cleveland, one in Denver, and one in California. So they say, like, if you grow up in Minnesota, you don't end up in Minnesota.
Wow, everybody just leaves. So
People
who
like to
does
travel.
end up in Minnesota?
My mom's still there.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, she's babysitting now, but she lives up there.
Okay. So and you could deal with the temperatures.
Yeah, I think it builds character, right?
It'll sprain a nipple, tell you that. I always had trouble with that.
And we lived in northern Minnesota on top of that, up in Virginia, Minnesota. It's about 100 miles from the Canadian border.
Almost damn Canada.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I remember, 40 below wind chill kind of things all the
Yeah,
time.
that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Yeah, that 40 below, and I was just 120 degrees in Lake Havasu last week.
I actually don't like. To me, this is too hot. When it's
Okay.
100 degrees, it's too hot.
Wow.
You like it?
I think 72, 73 is perfect.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
In a
100?
hotel room, I'll keep it at 73. No more, no less. Yeah.
I agree. Actually, that's pleasant.
I didn't know if in Minnesota until you get to a hotel and you're like, nope, it's going down to 62, 58, whatever.
No, we like. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know how. You didn't ask me about this. But Ibrahim is an Egyptian name, so my dad was Egyptian, so I went. He came from Egypt and came to Minnesota, so he really is the one that. It'd be great to interview.
What did he do wrong?
I don't know, why the heck did you go
It's
from
terrible.
Egypt to Minnesota? But he did, yeah.
Well, good for him. So we're getting to know you a little bit. I know that our audience of, I'm sure, 4, 5, maybe 7 of them by now have tuned in. Want to hear what you've got to play us a tune on. This isn't our usual guest. Usually we don't have classically trained instruments.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I might as well start out with a song from Minnesota, huh?
I would like that. That would be perfect. You couldn't have planned this any better.
Yeah, and this is a song that when I came from Minnesota to go to California to, came out to be a star, right?
You didn't.
But
You've made it. You're on this podcast.
Exactly. But like most young women from the Midwest that come out from Minnesota, they come out to California and, fell into the porn industry.
Of course.
But it wasn't so bad because I got the song out of it, so here we go. Well, I always had a dream to be a superstar. Packed my bags and I threw them in the car. Thought moving to LA would take me far. In Minnesota, it is so cold.
How cold is it?
It's so cold. When you fall out of bed, your pajamas shatter. 2, 3, 4. Well, life in LA was hard as a thorn. Needed some money, my values were torn. A life of being poor, a life in porn. You know what state has the smallest drinks?
No.
Minnesota.
Ah!
2, 3, 4. Well, I want to be a star. I want to make a lot of dough. I grew up in the country where things were plenty so. Can't be an actress, so now I'm a hoe. So I was going to tell a joke here, but it was really stupid, so now I'm just going to check in and see how you're doing.
Doing pretty good. Still hope.
2, 3, 4. So I met a guy, and he liked my looks, said he'd make me some cash. He had a hook. If I gave good head, that's all it took. You guys know the difference between St. Paul and yogurt?
No.
Yogurt has an active living culture.
Hey-oh!
2, 3, 4. Don't mean to complain. I shouldn't talk. You want to be a star, you got to walk the walk. I didn't know it meant sucking so much cock. You know what happened to Frosty's? Why Frosty got a divorce?
No.
Because his wife was a flake.
Oh, she sure was.
That's a joke I was going to tell her earlier, but it was, it's too stupid. It was right. I shouldn't have said. I don't know.
It's a good band. That's what's the name of that song?
My Minnesota song? No,
My Minnesota song, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes they're late on the laugh. There we go. Like a well-oiled machine, this podcast. It's taken us 6 episodes to get this good. Settle down. I like the Frosty the Flake line.
Yeah.
You should always tell it.
I almost forgot that one.
It's like something you'd read on a Laffy Taffy wrapper.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the funniest jokes I ever read were on Laffy Taffies.
Yeah, puns,
like why did the baby cookie cry? Because his mommy was a wafer so long. That got me.
I thought for sure it'd be something about crumbling.
No, it's a wafer joke. You never hear those. So I think the obvious next question would be why a violin? No, do you call it a violin or do you call it a fiddle?
I call it whatever I'm playing. I actually have a bit on that, but I don't have it ready for today.
Okay. That's okay. The show's not ready for you either. So
I probably could do it. I'd need a prop, though.
What kind of prop? What do you need?
Let me see if I have it.
We need an item from a lady's purse.
I could do it, but I remember it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the educational part of the show.
Okay. I want to learn.
Okay. This is the difference between a violin and a fiddle. This is a violin. Okay, ready? Now, excuse me just a second. I'll grab my fiddle. What's that? Now, this is a fiddle player trying to play classical violin. Is that pretty? I'll let it go at that.
I'm impressed. Now I've always wanted to know the difference, and now I know. Bubba teeth. That changes a fiddle to a violin and a violin. But
yeah, they're.
Is that polydent?
They were really cheap too, so they only cost $1.
Really?
Yeah, so I call them my buck teeth.
Oh, buck teeth. Holy shit! We're learning so much today.
Such a bad joke.
Is there such a thing? So where did you cross the line between? I'm sure you started as a violin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Since I grew up in Missouri, and so out there, I think people are born fiddle players, and they don't. When we're like, oh, is it a violin? What's a violin? But did you start classically trained?
I did. I was a classically trained violinist, and I just, as you get a little bit older, you just play with whatever you get paid for, basically. And I got to started doing fiddle gigs, and then, so now I just do both. I can do both.
How does one get a fiddle gig?
It actually, I started playing fiddle stuff in high school just because it was fun, right? There was bands and stuff, so I did that. And then, so I guess I kind of was trained on both, but I started as a classical violinist in elementary school. How does one get a fiddle gig? I don't know. You just start playing in high school, people know you, and, say, do you want to go play at the club? I'm like, oh, sure.
Bring a fiddle to a party. So, why comedy? What?
How did I get into comedy? Yeah. That's the. So when I was younger, I won't say how much younger. I did a variety
80
show.
80 years. 80 years younger.
I did a variety show for children at schools. I would go across the country putting on shows for schools. Okay. I just had a lot of fun doing that, and usually audiences respond to fiddle a little bit more than classical violin when you're doing that kind of stuff.
I'm always impressed by them. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started. I like performing and stuff, and I just thought it would go well with comedy, because it's all high energy and stuff like that. So I just put it together, and I started out as a musician. I've been doing comedy for the last 4 or 5 years. So just started doing that later.
Which one's harder? Is it more intricate to play?
I think that's a tough question because I've been playing music since my entire life.
Yeah.
But I started comedy about 4 or 5 years ago. So I think it was really hard it would think like when you're a kid, it just comes naturally, right?
Yeah.
But comedy, when you try to learn it when you're an adult, and people think it's easy. It's so hard. Comedy's so hard. It's so hard.
Ain't it though?
Yes, it's very difficult.
So what do you? I don't know. Who are your influences, like musically and musical comedy wise? Let's start musically. Regular old, just regular music. Who did you grow up listening to?
Yeah, I should have better answers for that. People always say, who did I actually listened to like pop music like any other kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I grew up like my friend's visiting this week from Texas, and we were talking about music. And my wife teases me that I don't know, like when Janet Jackson comes on, she's like, I love this song. I'm like, what's this song? She's like, you don't know Janet Jackson. I'm like, I grew up listening to the oldies from, like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
friend Courtney was all like, yeah, but they're oldies that nobody else in the world knows. I'm like, but they're really good songs. So
yeah, and I probably was more like a Prince, of course. He's a Minnesotan guy himself, right? But he's a great musician. He was big
I
when
never
I was,
think of Prince as a Minnesotan.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
I know
he
the
was.
Minnesotans sure as hell do. Yeah.
Yeah, he was Minnesotan for sure. Because, like, college and stuff, he was huge, right? He was
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah. It's a big damn deal.
So, yeah, I listened to Prince. I like Elton John, all the pop artists, really. You would think I would name some violinists, but not really.
That's okay. I don't care much for stand-up usually. I mean, like 5 or 6, but I don't seek it out. I guess it's mechanics always have the dirtiest engines, or I don't know why. Just you don't shit where you eat. I don't know why that expression. Yeah. So what about musical comedy wise?
Victor Borge, I guess, was the first one that was kind of the.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was the first. He was the first one I knew of that was a successful musical comedian.
Kids. I mean, all kids. Well, I don't know that all kids got to see him, but you were allowed. I was allowed to watch him. I wasn't supposed to watch dirty comedy when I was a kid. My dad's a minister, but Victor Borge was completely clean, and so it was comedy that we could watch. And it was it had the music, and it was so much about timing and less about what's said and more about what's not said.
Yeah. And just the way he incorporated, the music, I thought was very clever. And, so
and such a talented pianist.
Very good pianist, exactly.
Yeah. Now, did you grow up religious?
I would say kind of. My mom was more religious than my father.
The Egyptian.
Yeah. So
I don't know much about Egyptian religions, and clearly I can't even pronounce your last name.
No, that's okay. But yeah, did we grow up religious? I wouldn't say very religious, but like my mom we'd go to church once in a while,
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Was there any music? Did you gather any music from the church?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about that a little before. In the
didn't.
pre-podcast.
They used to.
Yeah.
In the olden days, they used to do that, but I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to play in church a lot.
We weren't allowed to do that. My church didn't believe in that, so
what?
we didn't. Yeah.
Your dad was a priest.
Yeah.
And
minister. He was a pastor. But minister, we didn't have instrumental music.
What?
That's against the rules. Yeah. What kind of whore are you, Laura?
What kind of church is that?
I was like, what do you know, Minnesotan? That's the devil's instrument. No, it's a very strict Christian, non-denominational that doesn't believe in instrumental music or dancing or smiling. It was a lot like Footloose. And I was Kevin Bacon, but instead of dancing, I turned to other things.
That surprises me. I thought they were big on music, but
no, not all
not
churches.
All? Really? Huh?
Acapella singing is their jam.
Yeah,
and they
but
love
that's
it.
Music.
Yeah.
Oh. So that's okay, but instrumental music.
No, instrumental. How are you not getting this? It's the goddamn devil,
so
Laura.
foreign to me. I just can't figure it out. Okay, all right.
I know. Yeah, it was. So when I got out of church, or when I got out of church, when I graduated from church, I picked up a guitar and started playing as a rebellion. But
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, see that you got something good out of it. That's good.
So now, did you go to college for music?
I did. I was a music major.
So you're incredible. What else? Do you play other instruments, or
I was actually a piano major in college. Yeah, but there's no way I'm going to go to clubs and play piano and bring my piano with me.
I know people that lug around pianos.
But, I guess so.
It's a pain in the ass. But you brought your fiddle in and nearly shut down our whole podcast trying to get that to sound good. So
I don't know if that was the reason. You think so?
I have no idea. I
don't blame it on the fiddle.
It's fun to blame you for things because you're so nice. I just want to blame you for everything. You're the reason that we don't have more viewers either. I think Think you're the reason that our viewership is low?
I have a joke about this.
Does anybody want to see Lara's boobs? We haven't checked in with Roxy the Fox back there. Has anyone commented on this week's podcast yet?
Is there anyone watching?
I think she went home. I think we lost the sound booth. It's just me and you here. So if we're going to take a vote between the two of us on whether or not you should unzip your top, we're going to probably have 1 for and 1 against.
I just have a joke about it, but please. Okay. So I love zippers.
Who doesn't?
They make a woman's wardrobe so much more versatile. They
That's
do,
true.
right? Like, because I can wear this to work, and then you know, it's very conservative. Right?
Yeah.
If you go out at night, you can be. You can be a little bit more liberal.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Conservative, liberal. Daytime, good time. Daytime, good time. Mormon, more men.
What?
That's the joke.
Trump? Obama. No, this is totally different conversation. And that's not true. I like it. I like your shirt. I like your shirt zipper bit. What? Okay, more music. I think we're going to cue up some more. What do you got in that?
Oh,
what do you got in that
one.
Git Fiddle? You got more in there?
Another song?
Yeah.
Should we? Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you back now? Yeah, you back now? You want to hear some music? Where were you when she took her top off?
I'll do this is a parody on The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And, you know, most
I don't know if we have that in our library.
Most people
if we
don't.
do.
If they're over the age. Ooh, here we go. The devil just joined Tinder. He was looking for a girl to date. He was twice divorced, hung like a horse, so he was feeling great. He came across this lady. He swiped right because she was hot. He said, woohoo, because she liked him too, so this message is what she got. I guess you probably know that I'm on Tinder too. And if you swear it, you won't share it, I'll send a pic to you. Now you're a pretty gal, but I'm a handsome devil too. I bet if I send you a pic of my dick, you'll send your titties too. The girl said, my name's Lara, and devil, you've got some nerve, but I'll take your pic. It'll be a kick, 'cause I bet you're just a perv. Devil sent a dirty pic that showed he had no shame. Lara wasn't sure that she wanted to play this game. She took a look and thought, your cock is impressive. But changed her mind, it's not her kind, and sent him back this message. Devil, I guess I'm flattered that you'd like to see my boobies, but I can't send a dirty pic unless I'm sure who you be. So if you think you've got a chance vying for my soul, you're gonna have to step it up, 'cause I'm looking for a fiddle of gold. The devil laughed out loud. Lara, your hopes are much too high. Are you brand new to online dating? We're just your average guy. I don't know who you think you are. You're no supermodel, but I'm tired of this silly game. It's time to get horizontal. Fire on Tinder, looking for fun. Devil's on the app wanting some. Lara's looking for a fiddle of gold. Swiping right is getting old. Well, Lara couldn't believe her eyes at the message the devil had sent, so she took a whack and messaged him back, and this is how that went. Devil, it doesn't matter how impressively you're cocked, but I'll tell you what, I ain't no slut, consider yourself blocked. Violent in there looking for fun. Devil's in the app wanting some. Fiddle of gold. Swiping right is getting old.
Lara Ibrahim.
Yeah!
So, what motivated the lyrics to that song?
You know, that's I do a lot of musical stuff, and that's The Devil Down George is probably the most requested song I have ever gotten. And
it's like Freebird for fiddlers,
right, kind of. So just I had to do it really. It was inside it. If you want to go into comedy, you got to do a parody on Devil Down Georgia.
If you want to be a fiddler comic, so you going with the have you done online dating?
Oh, of course.
And
I actually haven't done Tinder though.
Never did Tinder because I was going to say I don't know much about Tinder,
Yeah.
but I'm so curious to learn. So what was do you want to talk about online dating, or do you want to skip past? Do you want to swipe right on that conversation?
I don't
or
care.
left. I don't know which way
I don't
you
have
go.
anything interesting to say about it really. It's just everyone's done online dating.
Did you lie about online dating?
I think I just didn't disclose. Is that lying?
Yeah, it totally is. I mean, it's deception. What'd you lie about?
I'm sure I lied about.
You were a doctor?
No, probably my age, my weight, the normal stuff.
Nice. Nice. Did you disclose your occupation?
My occupation's kind of tricky because I have a day job too. But yeah.
Tell me about your day job.
Yeah. What is this?
Dr.
It's a long
Lara?
story.
What do you do when you're not fiddling?
Fiddling?
When you're not, that sounds like such a euphemism for
Yeah.
female masculinity. We're not fiddling. What do you do?
I'm a finance manager for Disney.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't need finance managing. They have plenty of money. Where were you when she unzipped her blouse?
I was zooming in on the camera.
Oh, I was gonna say, that would make me feel bad. You unzip for my profession. It's like, so what does that entail? Can you get into?
Yeah.
I mean, I know nothing about finance.
Yeah, I guess the easy way to explain. I'm actually a financial systems manager, so we support systems of finance people basically. So we do we're the go-between between the programmers and the people.
So you don't like balance Mickey's checkbook?
No, I have an accounting
background,
background, but you have to know accounting because you're helping them with their systems. But I have an accounting background, but I'm not the accountant. No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you ever use Disney favors to help your entertainment career?
Well, I have to. Disney's very particular about some of this
I've
stuff
heard
like
some
that.
stories of even talking about it. Like, can we even talk about Disney, or do we have to say trademark after every time?
No, I think I was gonna
No talking about this.
Okay, yeah, let's drop it.
Don't talk about Disney.
I think I can say I work there because I do. But
yeah. Even today. Were you supposed to be there today? And did you
I work
take
from
off
home
early?
today, but I
don't know why I'm interrogating you now. Can I treat her as a hostile witness? Is it not true that you left work early?
I'm going to go home and log on to make sure I didn't miss anything. But I did leave an hour early to catch this podcast. But I'm going to go back and make up for it. So just
You're like the second guest we've had on in the last 3 weeks that we've probably gotten fired by going live. Remember, was it one of the... Yeah. He said that he was sick that day. He was like, "Oh, we're live?" Because I called in sick. I was like, "Oh, chutes and ladders. Well, you're screwed." So, So I want to know more about your life and your ambitions. You said you've got a video coming out soon.
Well, I'm producing a music video to the song that I just did, but
this is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to play you or the devil?
Well, I'm playing me.
Okay. You never know. You never know what people want to do.
Yeah. So I've never done a music video before, but we're going to storyboard it and do the whole thing. We actually have the scratch track of the audio down. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, my opinion, you're putting way too much thought into this.
Really?
Yeah. I've done several videos. You just don't storyboard. Just show up and give everybody free beer and get the cameras rolling. And
the thing is the devil's part though, because it's very particular, right? I mean, what he does. So we want to. Because the guy who's going to do the devil is an actor friend of mine, and we want to do it in one day.
He has to be very well endowed, too, doesn't he?
Well, you props, there's props.
I mean, you could. Or you could just have a bitchin' casting day. If you're looking for
He's
love.
actually kind of a skinny guy, so,
Maybe it looks bigger. I don't know what we're trying to say here. Today's a naughty episode. Did anybody notice that? We got naughty?
I hope it wasn't because my...
It's you!
I was going to say, is it me?
It's Minnesotans, always bringing the dirty.
I'm actually, I see now I can't let my mom watch this episode.
It's live, so she's probably watching it right now.
She's not technically inclined, so I'm sure she wouldn't figure it out.
So what else is on your horizon? What's next in the world of Lara?
Well, I hope to do the Burbank Comedy Festival.
She left the booth again. I think you just got invited back.
Yes, because it's had a way to get into Burbank Comedy Festival.
I think you come
I've
on
done
the
it
show
3 or
and
4
ask.
years in a row, so it's always a lot of fun. That's coming up in August.
Oh yeah. And it's not the easiest festival to get into. You have to actually come and ask. And to pay a submission fee. But it's a fantastic comedy festival, so if you've never heard about the
Right
Burbank
here at
Comedy
Flappers,
Festival,
right,
we'll be
yes.
coming on, here at Flappers, and it's sometime in August, I believe the second week.
August 13th through 19th.
Yeah,
Go
there
to
she is.
BurbankComedyFestival.com for all the details. Submissions have closed, but for you real latecomers, you can pay more of a fee. We'll watch your video over the next couple of days, over 4th of July.
Yeah, and I bet
Don't be late next
you
year.
may see Lara, Ibrahim. Ibrahim.
Yeah,
I'm getting there.
you're thinking about that too much.
I'm overthinking your name too much because but I'm enjoying having you here. I can't wait to see you at the Burbank Comedy Festival as well. Any new songs that you're working on?
I'm working on a bit, not so much a song. So I had a son in November last year. I know.
You had one? Do you still have it?
No, I still have it.
That's good. It's good.
He's 8 months on Thursday. Yeah, gosh, wow, that's long. I can't believe how fast that's gone. And in fact, last year I did Burbank Comedy Festival. It was quite huge. So.
Oh wow, you did a comedy festival pregnant?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, that's the first time I did Double One Down in Georgia. Was
wow.
And I was quite. Well, I was like 7 months pregnant at the time. So
wow.
It was pretty big. But yeah, I did it. But anyway, so I delivered him in November, and he was late, and it was really not a pleasant delivery. I was in hospital for 8 months, so I'm going to do a bit on that. And I'm going to just tell the story and then throw fiddle bits in.
Well, tell me all about it.
It's going to be random. It's going to be pretty random. I haven't tried it out yet, though, so...
well, walk me through it. What do you... just honestly, what was the experience of childbirth like? If you had a fiddle in your hand to help you through these emotions.
I should have brought my fiddle with me to the hospital. It probably would have been a little bit better. But, no, it was... he was... I don't know if it was just my experience, but he was, late, and I was induced, and he didn't come out. So I was in the hospital 4 days, and they were inducing me. And
wait, how long?
8 days total.
That's a long time.
I know,
to be in
because
a hospital.
I was 4 days. They were trying to.
You're
induce
being
me.
Minnesota nice about it. I would say it was 8 days. It's no big.
Yeah, and it was funny because I didn't see a doctor for the first 4. It was just the residents. I was at UCLA at a teaching hospital.
Did you shout at anybody?
I finally did.
I was gonna say that's why you didn't see a doctor, because you're just saying, "Oh,
I was being
that's
too nice.
fine."
Yeah. But and then after they tried to induce me, and he didn't come out, then they took me in for a C-section, and then I was there for another 4 days. So it was just not a pleasant experience.
So do you still bear a grudge against your child for that?
No, it wasn't his fault.
Okay. Well, you never know,
No. In fact, I was a little mad at UCLA, but
Can we talk about UCLA?
Probably not, I bet.
No? Are they on the Disney list? Yeah? Think they're watching today?
I have to get off the brand names. I'm sorry.
Yeah. By the way, buy Tide. Because it's a good detergent. Just saying.
Going to want to sponsor me.
Boy, if people would just give you free stuff if you said their names, I would drop all kinds of names. I would like Steak and Shake right now. Have you ever had them? They're delicious.
Yeah.
What are some things that you miss from Minnesota that we don't have in California?
I would, probably the people.
You don't go to food like I do. I'm like, don't they have cheese curds in Minnesota? I know it's a Wisconsin thing, but I think it bleeds over into Minnesota too.
I don't, for some reason, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream always reminds me of Minnesota. I don't know why. They have it out here too, but
I think they have more of it there.
Yeah, maybe. It's on the salad bars.
That is very true. Do you have any more songs for us today?
Well, should I do the talk about the religious one?
We need to talk about the religious one. Yeah, and we have time. Oh. This is perfect.
Okay, well, my sister's a nun.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I call her my sister the sister.
That makes sense. Sister squared.
And it's great because she's a musician, too. So, we've produced a lot of big religious hits together.
Oh, is this the Two Hoes and a Fiddle?
Oh, yeah. That's the start of it. You've seen that.
Yeah, I looked you up. I thought, what is it? Fiddle Comedy is your website. I want to make sure you get plugged thoroughly.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That sounded terrible.
That better.
Yeah, unzip that top. We'll plug you thoroughly. Anyway, yeah, your website is fiddlecomedy.com.
Right. So I still
make sure to follow her.
Oh.
Yeah, and learn how to pronounce her name before you say hello.
I'm pretty cool about it. You can just follow me.
Super sweet.
So we me and my sister produce a lot of religious hits together. And we're working on our commercial for our greatest hits album. So.
I would love to hear your religious greatest hits sister song.
Okay, this is from our Proud to be a Catholic. Oops, Proud to be a Catholic album, one more time. Just an altar boy, living for a preacher's joy. Goes to the rectory almost every night. Just a humble priest, don't suspect him in the least. He rapes that boy almost every night. It goes on and on and on and on. See, I have to apologize for that one because it's nice.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're too nice.
Mary, are you okay? So Mary, okay? Are you okay, Mary? Mary, are you okay? So Mary, okay? Are you okay, Mary? Mary, okay? So Mary, okay? Are you okay, Mary? Mary, okay? So Mary, okay? Are you okay, Mary? Mary, are you okay? We tell God that you're okay. He saw that she was faithful, so sent down his own angel, and he asked her plainly, could you maybe have God's baby? So she ran to the bedroom, and she laid down, and God went boom. You've been struck by it. You've been fucked by it. A smoothie. And our biggest hit of all time. Jesus was a man, was a God man, talking on the streets, gonna ride her in the room someday. Got blood out in your face. Big disco. You know, I went into the real song instead of doing my parody.
I love the real song. You start over?
Maybe. Okay. Jesus was a man, was a God man, talking on the streets, gonna try to. I did it again! God, I messed up. Okay. No, I can't remember. Got blood on face, this big disgrace. Dragging his cross all over the place. And he will save you. Here comes the guitar solo.
Already clapped. They're tired now. Yes!
Yes!
More! That's what I like about this podcast with songs that you're working on. You're working on them. I think it's gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I have different songs. I shouldn't have chosen that one to end with because the other songs I might know better. But
what else you got? We got 3 minutes.
Oh, what else? Oh, you know what? With the 4th of July coming up?
It sure is.
Tomorrow.
Sure is. It's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to play gunshots or fireworks in my neighborhood.
All right, so the issue I have as a musician with holidays in general, well, the 4th of July has great songs, right? Star Spangled Banner, God Bless America. There's millions of them, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is there's only 4 or 5 holidays like that a year, right? So I think it was important to write some songs for some of the lesser known holidays. So that way we can work more.
Good call.
Don't you think?
Good call.
Yeah,
I'm in.
So, maybe President's Day. You know, that's the day that they took
Never heard a song about President's Day. Yeah.
2 presidents' birthdays. They just kind of smushed it into one.
That's true.
It's not fair. No. We used to get 2 days. Now we just get 1. For Lincoln's birthday. And with George Washington, you might get a good price on a car or a mattress. But that doesn't feel nice. I'd rather get the day off.
Yes!
That's all there was to it.
I need an Arbor Day song.
I have Arbor Day, but I don't have it ready, so I'm not going to try.
I'm impressed. Plug everything that you've got. What's your Twitter handle? What's your Snapchat?
See, now this
what's your boomerang? What's your made up ones? What do you got?
I have a Facebook page.
Hey, Facebook. People are still on
Consider
Facebook.
my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
and let's spell your name just so when people want to find you later and figure out where they can buy a zipper top. It's Lara.
Yeah.
Ibrahim.
I am. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Not AM. So
I know how to spell it. I just don't know how to say it because my mind just goes to Abraham.
Yeah.
And it's
Ibrahim. It's Abraham with I's instead of A's.
My friend Becca is gonna kill me.
Maybe I should change my name.
Don't change your name. Stop being friends with me. Like, I'm the bad link here. Guys, I really appreciate everybody that tunes into our podcast here at Songs in the Key of Funny. And thank you again to my wonderful guest, Lara Ibrahim. Nailed it! We come back every Monday that I'm in town. You can find us on Facebook at Songs in the Key of Funny, Twitter at Songs Key Funny. I'm pretty sure. My name's Kristen Key. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at The Kristen Key. So I'm Kristen Key, and this has been
Songs in the Key of Funny. Funny songs and the stories behind them.
That was fun. Good times as always. Yeah. Picking you up, making you feel good all day long.